Listen up, ladies. I know what you're thinking. You cut him off, you stopped texting, you stopped calling, you even blocked him on everything. And now you're sitting there waiting for him to suddenly wake up and realize what he lost. But let me tell you something, no contact is not enough. See, men, we're different. We don't always process things the way y'all do. You think silence is going to teach him a lesson, but the truth is, some men just get comfortable in that. If he already thought you would always be there, then you being quiet just makes it easier for him to move on. But you want him to feel it? Oh, he gonna feel it. Not by sitting around checking your phone every 5 minutes, not by posting sad, indirect quotes, and definitely not by waiting for him to miss you first. He gonna feel it when he sees you glowing without him, when he sees you leveling up, when he hears from mutual friends that you're out here living your best life, not just pretending, but actually happy. That's what makes a man think twice, not the no contact game, not the petty, let me post this and see if he watches my story game. Nah, the real game, that's self-improvement. Start hitting the gym, start looking even better than you did before. Pick up a new hobby, start that business, take that trip, surround yourself with positive energy. When you level up, he won't just see the difference, he will feel the difference. And let me tell you this, when he comes crawling back, because trust me, most of them do, you're not even gonna want him anymore. Because by then, you're gonna realize that you were the prize all along. And once a woman realizes that, oh, it's game over. So don't just go silent, go glow. And make him regret ever losing you. No contact is a strategy many people use after a breakup, thinking that silence alone will make the other person realize what they lost. It's a powerful tool, but by itself, it's not enough. See, a lot of people think if they just disappear, block him, and stop all communication, he's gonna sit there, reflect on everything, and suddenly have this grand realization about how much he misses you. But that's not always how men operate. Some men will just take that silence as a sign that they're free to move on, not as a wake-up call. The truth is, if you want to make a man feel your absence, no contact isn't enough. You have to level up. That's the real key. A lot of people do no contact wrong. They stop reaching out, but they're still emotionally stuck. They're still checking his social media, still waiting for a sign, still hoping that any day now he's gonna come running back. But that energy is not gonna get you anywhere. Because when a man doesn't see any change, he assumes that he still has access to you. He assumes that if he wanted to come back, he could, because nothing about you has really changed. What really makes a man feel your absence isn't just silence, it's transformation. If he left you thinking you were one way, and then months later, he sees you thriving, looking better, doing better, moving differently, that's when it hits him. That's when he starts questioning himself. That's when he starts realizing he might have messed up. But here's where most people get it wrong. They do all of this just to get a reaction. They start going to the gym, posting more, trying to make it seem like they're happy, but deep down, they're just waiting for him to notice. And let me tell you something, when you do something just to get a reaction, it shows. It's not genuine. And trust me, men can tell. They know when you're just putting on a show versus when you are truly elevating yourself. The key isn't to fake a glow up, it's to actually have one. That means putting all that energy you were giving him back into yourself. It means taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit. It means setting new goals, working towards them, and actually achieving things that have nothing to do with him. The best revenge is not proving him wrong, it's proving to yourself that you were always capable of more. It's about shifting your focus completely off of him and onto yourself. Because when you truly focus on yourself, you stop caring about whether he notices or not. And ironically, that's when he usually does. Men are wired to notice patterns. If they were used to you always being available, always responding, always caring, and then suddenly your energy shifts, they feel that. Not just the silence, but the actual difference in how you carry yourself. If he was used to you always being emotionally reactive, and now you're calm, unbothered, and moving forward, he's going to feel that shift. The mistake many people make is thinking that no contact means just waiting in silence. No contact is about resetting the dynamic. It's about reclaiming your power, your energy, and your self-worth. It's not about sitting around hoping he notices. It's about getting to a place where you genuinely don't care if he does. That's the power move. That's what makes a man stop and think. When you truly start leveling up, your energy changes. You start attracting better things, better people, better opportunities. And when he does see you again, he's not just seeing silence. He's seeing someone who has completely outgrown him. And that, more than anything, is what makes a man feel your absence. A lot of people go into no contact thinking that just ignoring someone will make them miss you. But the truth is, no contact without real growth is just wasted time. If you cut someone off but spend every day thinking about them, stalking their social media, or replaying old memories in your mind, you haven't really let go. You're still stuck in the same emotional space. And that's exactly where you don't want to be. The goal isn't to wait for them to notice your absence. The goal is to shift your energy so much that their presence or absence no longer affects you. The most important thing you can do after a breakup isn't to play mind games or try to manipulate the situation. It's to focus on yourself in a real, tangible way. That means taking all the energy you used to pour into that relationship, every bit of love, effort, time, and attention, and putting it back into yourself. Most people don't realize how much of themselves they give away in a relationship until it ends. Suddenly you find yourself with all this free time, all this mental space, and at first it feels like a loss. But that space is a gift if you know how to use it. The first step is to reconnect with who you are outside of that relationship. It's easy to get so caught up in being with someone that you start defining yourself through them, their likes, their schedule, their wants. It all becomes a part of your life, and when they leave, it feels like a part of you left too. But the truth is, that part of you was never really you. It was just the version of yourself that existed in that relationship. Now, you get to rediscover who you are when no one else is influencing your choices. Start by doing the things you always wanted to do but never had the time for. Pick up a new hobby, start a new project, go to the places you always talked about visiting. Pour into your passions, whether it's fitness, art, music, business, whatever excites you. When you focus on something that genuinely lights you up, you stop feeling the need to chase or prove anything to anyone. You start feeling fulfilled by your own progress, and that kind of energy is magnetic. Another key part of focusing on yourself is improving your mindset. Breakups can shake your confidence, and it's easy to start questioning your worth. But instead of looking for validation from the person who left, start working on how you see yourself. Develop self-discipline, set new goals, and work towards them daily. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Read books, listen to podcasts, invest in your personal growth. The more you evolve, the less attached you become to the past, because you're too busy building a future that excites you. A big mistake people make is using their pain as an excuse to stay stagnant. They sit in their emotions, replaying the past over and over, hoping that time alone will heal them. But time doesn't heal. It's what you do with that time that matters. If you use your time to elevate, to become stronger, smarter, and more confident, then you come out of this experience transformed. And when you truly transform, you stop feeling the need for closure or revenge. You realize that the best response to any loss is becoming a better version of yourself. When you genuinely focus on yourself, your energy shifts. You stop looking back and start moving forward with purpose. And when that happens, people notice. That ex who thought they could leave and you'd be the same, they see the change. They hear about the moves you're making. They see your growth, and suddenly they start realizing what they lost. But by then, you're already on another level, and their opinion no longer holds the same weight. When a person walks away from you, they usually assume that you will always be there in some way. They assume that you will be thinking about them, waiting for them, hoping they come back. And in a lot of cases, they assume that even if they do leave, you're not going to change much. They expect you to be the same person they left behind, stuck in the same patterns, carrying the same emotions, living the same life. But the moment you start to truly level up, everything changes. When you stop focusing on them and start focusing on yourself, your entire energy shifts. And that's when they start to feel it. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that making someone miss you is about doing things for attention. They post certain things, act a certain way, or try to show off in a way that feels forced. But real growth isn't something you put on for display. It's something that naturally shines through. When you start living better, feeling better, and moving differently, people notice without you having to announce it. That's the difference between trying to make someone miss you and making them feel your absence without even trying. The moment you truly let go and focus on yourself, you start to change in ways that go beyond just your appearance. Your confidence shifts, your mindset evolves, and you start to attract different energy. You no longer crave the validation of the past because you are too busy creating something better for yourself. And the irony is, that's exactly when people from your past start looking back. When someone sees that you are no longer accessible in the way they thought you would always be, it forces them to reassess everything. They start to wonder how they lost access to you, why they don't have the same hold over you, and if they made a mistake in walking away. This isn't about playing games or getting revenge. It's about realizing that the most powerful thing you can do is build a life that excites you so much that you stop looking back. When you glow up internally and externally, when your energy is focused forward instead of stuck in the past, it creates a ripple effect. You start attracting better opportunities, better relationships, and better experiences because you are no longer operating from a place of lack or need. You start carrying yourself with a different level of self-worth, and that's something people can feel. A lot of times people don't realize what they had until they see what they lost, but more importantly, they don't feel the weight of that loss until they realize they can't just walk back into your life the same way they left. That's why true growth is the most powerful response to any situation. When someone expects you to be in the same place, but they come back and see that you've outgrown them, that's when it really hits them. They feel it when they realize that the version of you they knew no longer exists because you have become someone even stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. There's nothing more powerful than becoming the person you were meant to be, not to prove a point to anyone else, but because you deserve it. When you focus on yourself, you stop being controlled by the emotions that once kept you stuck. You stop waiting, stop hoping, stop looking back, and instead you start embracing the future. And when that shift happens, when your energy no longer revolves around what was, but instead is focused on what's next, that's when the people who took you for granted start feeling the weight of their choices. Because the hardest thing for someone to accept is that they lost access to something they thought they could always come back to.